Live? Are we live? What up, people? It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom One. Welcome to another fabulous episode of Based on a True Story podcast. It's your host, your moderator. Please feel free to hit the subscription button, the notification bell. Share this with a friend, family, as well as a follower. Let's get this channel lit, though, in the YouTube algorithm. You heard me? All right. Y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me clearly. All right. So, uh, if you've been a long time supporter or, someone who just recently subscribed to my channel, uh, two things I don't necessarily talk about is religion and politics. Because when you talk about religion and politics, you get the wahoos, you get the way too serious crowd voicing their concerns and their opinions about my opinion. All right, but nevertheless, I steer away from topics like that. But today we're gonna dive just a little bit. We're just gonna tiptoe through the tulips about what's been transpiring with Nicki Minaj. Okay, now a lot of people are saying on social media, I've seen content creators say this, you know, the way Nicki is so pro MAGA, she is losing her whole entire fan base. Okay, and Nicki, has been on a tear, not in a good way, but in a bad way. She's been, just bad publicity, you know, from my perspective. To her, this might be par for the course. She was going back and forth with Cardi B. She's beefing with Cardi B. She's been, beefing with several other people as well. Uh, and she's not new to this pro MAGA, um, you know, uh, motive, because she's been pretty much, she's pretty much pro Trump, pro Republican, hardcore MAGA, and a lot of people on social media, just in society, are kind of fed up with Nicki Minaj. Now, you have the diehard Barb's fans that will apologize and make excuses. Not apologize, but just make excuses constantly when Nicki put her own foot in her mouth. And then people will make excuses. Oh, well, see, you don't understand. She was in a dark place. Oh, you don't understand. It's because of this. Oh, you don't understand. It's because of that. But the recent developments that Nicki Minaj has been, going through for the past 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours, even the hardcore Nicki fan, the Barbs, y'all call yourselves the Barbs, are not co-signing to what Nicki is doing. Nicki parlayed and now she's partnering up um with a lot of hardcore left wingers with the Republican Party. Uh, the Kirtland's widow, she's has been partnering with her as well. Um, and to me, first and foremost, we live in a free country. You're allowed to believe whatever you want to believe. If you feel like there's aliens on the moon, that's your prerogative. I'm pretty sure that there's a crowd out there that echoes those same sentiments. You know, if whatever you believe, whatever as long as you're not harassing or physically or emotionally abusing uh persons or persons, then it's all par for the course. Okay. But Nicki Minaj, a lot of people think that this is like the final straw for a lot of people um that are pro Nicki Minaj. And I'm gonna be honest with you. First and foremost, thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. Let me see if anybody said anything in chat. No, not yet. Let me let me first explain to you people what Nicki is doing, because a lot of people think that Nicki didn't take her prescription medication. A lot of people think that Nicki is a little Lulu. A lot of people just, just think that way. That Nicki is got an illness called the Ye virus. Because, Kanye was pretty normal. And then, after, well, there's a lot of things that have happened in Kanye's life, like his mother passed, his custody with Kim, his relationship, his marriage with Kim Kardashian, his custody with the children, this, that, and the third. He's going through a lot of stuff. Plus, he's supposed to be heavily medicated. There's been talk that he's, has not taken his medication in a while, and that's why Kanye does the things that Kanye do. And maybe Nicki Minaj is the same way. Maybe she's, not taking her medication. But I really think that what separates this from Kanye had some very tragic things happen in his life. And when you go through tragedy, a lot of people deal with it in different ways. Some people try to, be unfazed about it, but they're completely phased about it. And, they just keep it bottled inside. Other people try to seek help, seek professional help, talk to somebody like a pastor or a psychiatrist or whatever. And then you have people that just don't do nothing. And when you go through tragedy it affects you mentally and emotionally. And you don't think logically, you start thinking illogically. And that's why Kanye is why Kanye is. But I do believe that, a lot of people feel like this is the same recipe that's going on with Nicki Minaj. But I really think this has nothing to do with Nicki being cray-cray. I don't think that Nicki fell on her head. I don't believe that Nicki didn't take her prescribed medication. I don't believe any of that. I just think Nicki is, this is all a publicity stunt for Nicki Minaj. And I believe it, and I'm gonna explain to you why I believe it. Because Nicki has not faced any type of recent tragedy. Now, if you want to talk about her brother, and being convicted, or her relationship with her mother, or if or the beef with her and Cardi B, maybe that has altered how she feels about people and this, that, and the third. If you want to use that as, hey, how you doing? How you doing, Jam? How you doing? Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Thanks for the thumbs up. So, yeah, I remember you. So, if y'all want to say that Nicki is going through some things, and y'all want to utilize that as exhibit A, B, C, I mean, I'm fine with it. But this stuff is not really recent. These events are not like happen back to back to back within the past 6 months or the past couple of months. So to me, I think this is all a publicity stunt for Nicki. Uh, I think Nicki is, knows that, hey, when Kanye was for Trump, even though there's a large percentage of African Americans that were totally against it, people didn't denounce Kanye. Kanye still sold sneakers, still sold clothing, still made music, and the music still streamed. It was on top of the list. He was always front and center in the news because of his support of Donald J. Trump. And, if anything, life got better for Kanye by announcing to the world that he's pro-Trump, So if you want to say, I mean, you can say that about Kanye. I think what Kanye what Kanye's going through has nothing to do with his support with Donald Trump. It's the other things, the other things Kanye has recently did, the other things that Kanye recently has said, and it has nothing to do with Donald J. Trump. Um, and I believe Nicki looks at, hey, look, when uh, Kanye supported Trump, things were up for Kanye. People still continue to support him through his music, through his fashion. Um, as far as being an influencer, life was good for Kanye on that level. And the only reason Kanye is falling apart is more of self-destruction. It's self-destruction more so than pairing up with Donald J. Trump. So if anything, Nicki's looking at this as, hey, look, I don't want to do what Kanye, the other half of what Kanye did, but that first half, like, linking up with the Republican caucus and, supporting the president and things of that nature, supporting the policies, supporting the beliefs. Um, I think by doing that, that should help Nicki Minaj, publicity wise. Again, I don't see nothing wrong with Nicki Minaj. I think Nicki Minaj is fine. I don't think she's cray cray, but I do believe that this could be more so than a publicity stunt than anything else. Now, the problem is, to me, how long this is going to last. How long Nicki is going to be this way until she goes into her next phase. Because the one thing I notice about Nicki Minaj, she don't stay consistent. She's like, she moves from trend to trend, like she's wearing different pairs of shoes. She don't never, because a lot of people seem to forget when Nicki was in her prime, Nicki did not want to collaborate or partner up with other female rappers. She believed female rappers were the ops. When Nicki was in her bag and when Nicki was in her prime, oh, you couldn't tell Nicki nothing. She had beefs with everybody from Little Kim, to everybody. It made it difficult to collaborate with Nicki. And then, when Cardi started getting a bigger piece of the pie when it came to fame and music, then Nicki changed her stance. She started to collaborate with Ice Spice, Megan Thee Stallion, until she fell out with Megan Thee Stallion. Lotto until Lotto chose sides or whatever. So now Nicki, she has a change of heart. She has a change of mind. And that's, that's been Nicki MO for a long time. She switches teams and she switches trends. So one has to ask themselves how long Nicki is going to do. How long Nicki is going to be pro MAGA. It's going to be pro Trump. Because there is going to be a time, folks, when all this tumbles. Because see, the one thing about politics, and everyone keeps forgetting about it. Forget about the end of the story with politics. No matter who you voted for or believe in, when it's the end, it's the end. You can't sustain that trend for much longer. People just move on after. You can probably, if you become president, you got that first term. If you're very popular or successful or both, you make it through that second term. But then after that second term, life isn't the same. You still don't run anything. Now, maybe your vice president will get an opportunity to become president. In some cases that happen, but in other cases it doesn't. Like when Obama was president, he had two successful terms. Trump came in, had a term, and then I forgot his damn name. I see his face, I just can't think of his name. The last president before Trump. He made it through one term, and then we voted Trump back in there. And when Trump leaves, Y'all think JD Vance is going to get that same type of love and support that Trump did? I don't think so. It's anybody's it's anybody's game from here on out. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. When this MAGA party is over with, when the party is over with, um, I gotta go. Bye. See you on the next live because I need to sleep now. Go right ahead, get plenty of sleep. Get plenty of sleep. You need sleep, dog. Okay. Appreciate you coming by, dog. Appreciate you coming by. Enjoy. Get your rest in. Okay. You can always watch the re-air of this. So everybody can. So you dig what I'm saying? I think this is all a publicity stunt for Nicki Minaj. I don't think Nicki Minaj is that serious or that deeply invested in politics. I just think this is an angle she can play. Um, and this could be an angle of uh, she could there's probably a reason why she's angling this play, but it's turning off a lot of diehard Nicki Minaj fans that supported her through the years, that made excuses for Nicki Minaj when Nicki Minaj would say something about somebody's child or somebody's significant other. These diehard fans will make excuses for Nicki Minaj, or when she does, this, that, and the third. Now, people are hurt. There's a lot of African Americans that are hurt that she would align herself with the MAGA party. But hey, I'm pretty sure that she's going to have a publicity team that's going to switch it up and tell you guys differently, this, that, and the third. So we have to wait and see how that falls. Okay, we'll let the chips fall where they may. So yeah, that's pretty much it on this live. I'm gonna do one more live tomorrow night, and I'm gonna be off this week. I'm gonna enjoy New Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Check my gaming channel out. I have a gaming channel. I might do a live stream on Christmas Eve, maybe. But if I don't, if you don't see me, or I don't get an opportunity to talk to you guys, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. I hope you have a safe Christmas and a Happy New Year. But anywho, it's your boy, the host with the most, and do not brag or boast, coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy, I'm Chris Don. Bless you too, Bobby. God dang it, Bobby. Bless you too. Oh, I'll tell you what. Anyway, every time I see a Bobby, I think of Bobby Hill. All right, so yeah, I want to wish everyone out there a safe, blissful New Year's Day, Christmas Day, and we'll be back better than ever next week. I'm up out of here. Talk to you guys later. I'm gone. Deuces, y'all.